Now, my next guest, best known for starring in the reality series The Only Way is Essex. Gosh, back then. Now, though, Lydia Bright has written her debut children's book. It's called Mummy and Me, and she joins me now, and this is gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
The illustrations are beautiful.
Oh,
this was Jojo, yeah?
Yeah, Jojo Clinch, the illustrator. She was...
Lovely.
Oh, she's incredible.
So you worked very closely with her to get your ideas, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a collaborative sort of process. She was amazing at letting me be involved with, you know, ideas.
Yeah, it's
I really wanted something that was traditional, but also like quite modern. So yeah, she's really brought the story to
it's lovely.
life.
And it's one of those books. I mean, what would you say age for this would you recommend?
Yeah, so it's like a preschool book.
Okay.
So yeah, but the idea behind the book was, you know, I was facing motherhood as a single mum when I was pregnant.
I know, that was the thing. That must have been really scary, actually.
Emotions were high.
Emotions were high, says Lydia. You know, just, yeah, exactly. That's one way of saying it. But so the idea for the book was way back then, you know, like almost 4 years ago.
Then. Yeah, over, because Loretta will be 4 next month. So I was, early stages of pregnancy. I was very lost. I went through every emotion that you could possibly think of. And I just needed a distraction. So this became like a passion project, almost worked a bit like therapy for me. And to know that I was creating something that would ensure that Loretta, my future daughter, would always feel represented in books.
Right.
You know, that was the driving force behind it, because there isn't enough books out there that represent single-parent families.
Right.
And we're such a big proportion of the UK.
Of course.
So,
yeah, it's sensible, isn't it? I mean, it's not just... That's the thing. Of course, it's inspired by the fact that you're a single parent, but all kids can enjoy it. It doesn't really matter what... Because families, for goodness sake, families come in all shapes and sizes these days. There's no definitive, this is a family, you know, it's all different things. So really, everybody can enjoy it. It's a little adventure story.
Exactly that. You know, I was brought up in a non-traditional family. My parents are foster carers. You know, I've gone on and had a non-traditional family because I'm a single parent. And the story is just celebrating the magical adventure of a mother and a daughter and the love that comes from family, whatever family looks like. And just, having books that children can see themselves in. Sure. And it's that whole thing of just all children feeling represented. So, yeah, that was the purpose behind the book. And to be here and be able to talk about it after such a long period of time is just amazing.
Just to see it, you know, it's just holding the book in your hand. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing achievement.
Thank
of course
you,
it is. Now, look, the main, you know, never mind what all the critics will say.
Yes.
The main, you know, the main one you want is Loretta. Does Loretta like it?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I had this dream of the first time that my daughter would open my book, and I dreamt that it would be, you know, gushy and emotional, and she would be filled with pride. But kids will be kids. Yeah. And she wasn't bothered at all.
Do you know, that's quite normal.
She was not bothered at all, but she loves it now.
Good.
But the first time I actually filmed it and put it on my Instagram, the first time that I showed it to her, I was like, would you like Mummy to read this book that I've written to you? And she was like, no, thank you.
No, thanks, it's fine. No, I'm all right. But
kids will humble you.
Oh, they absolutely
sure.
will. Of course they will. How do you feel, though? Because you mentioned there you put that on Instagram.
Yes.
And you do put things on Instagram, because that's what people do these days.
Yeah.
And then you get criticised.
Yes.
You know, there was one, I think she was playing in the plane or something like that. I can't really remember what it was about. Yeah, she was playing. And then you get, now inevitably, you know you will get criticism.
Yes.
Can you just brush it off, Lydia? Is it because of the experience that you had on reality shows? Can you just actually say, I don't care?
Yeah, I think, you know, I've been in the public eye from such a young age. I was 18 when I started TOWIE, so it's been, you know, I'm 33 now. It's been many, many, many years. I think when I was younger, things used to affect me a lot more. If people didn't like me, I think, you know, age... You get affected a lot more. I think when you have children, you worry a lot less about what people think. But I'm very conscious on my social media to share, you know, the ups and downs, you know, the reality of parenthood.
So it's not all lovely. And, like, you put on Instagram that your daughter wasn't that bothered about reading the book. Rather than waiting for her to look, and it's all gorgeous and golden and sparkly.
Exactly. Life isn't perfect. And I'm very conscious to share the reality of things. And I'm one of these parents that I think let kids be kids. Yeah. And my child has never been the kid that will sit down really patiently at a restaurant, you know, eat her food with her knife and fork. My child will be up talking to every single waiter that's there, probably under someone's table, eating with her hands. But do you know what? I just think childhood is such a small part of a person's upbringing and a person's life. It's such a small percentage. I think unless your child is actually being naughty or rude.
If it's bothering people, your child. If your child is really, really bothering people, then you'd have to draw a line.
Yeah, but if they're
just playing...
If they're just playing and they're using their imagination and they're on a bit of an adventure, then
it's getting the balance,
It's getting the balance,
Absolutely.
exactly that. That's what I believe.
But you're very lucky because you've got a good relationship with your daughter's dad and you've got a really good support system around about you.
The best.
Because you can't really do it all by yourself, you know, not really.
Definitely. I think that, I've been very, very lucky that my family are so supportive. We live very close to each other. We're very, very tight-knit. You know, I went back to work when Loretta was really young and I love the fact that I can work and I can be a mum. But, of course, I wouldn't be able to juggle that all by myself.
No, you need to have your pals, your family,
your village.
all of that.
Yes.
I mean, you talked about the fact that your mum was a foster carer. I mean, I think she had about 200 kids that she fostered over the years, didn't she?
She has got a lot of experience, my mother, for sure.
You've got a lot of brothers and sisters out there.
I have.
Which is good, though.
Yeah.
But again, you know, that sort of thing, she must have a very relaxed attitude. And you can know that Loretta's going to be extremely well looked after by a grandmother.
Yeah, and I think that she's always the one that I look to for, like, the advice and the tips and stuff, because she's got so much experience and she's very much like, just relax into motherhood. You know, don't take things too seriously. Things aren't always going to be perfect. Life isn't going to always run on the course that you always think it's going to run on, but just go with life and go with it.
Exactly. And you were saying that you're not quite ready to date yet.
Yes.
It's maybe something in the future that you might do. And you know what, Lydia? I just think, see, if you're not looking for it, that's when it happens.
Yeah. Do you know
I said
what?
exactly the same to your pal Arj when he was on. Arj was on here a couple of weeks ago and I said, look, love, just don't be... it'll come to you.
Yeah.
It'll be grand.
Oh, I really want Arj to meet someone and he's such a lovely person.
He's like Loretta's uncle, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, she's going to be baptised soon and I was, like, contemplating, you know, maybe he'd be the godfather because he's so, like...
He's very Italian looking, to be fair.
Yeah.
He'd love that.
Oh, my gosh, he would love that. You know he would love that. But, yeah, no, I'm more open to love. I definitely am. I think when Loretta was so young, firstly, we were in a global pandemic. Like, I weren't going to be going out dating. But I had no interest and I was finding my feet as a mum and balancing that with, you know, work. But, yeah, I'm definitely more open to it now. And, you know, I do go on dates and things now. I was so closed off with it. But I think, you know, I had to get to that point.
Of course.
Because, you know, your focus, for me, my focus was elsewhere when she was...
Exactly. And it'll happen when it happens. Meanwhile, though, good luck with Mummy and Me. It's lovely. It's out tomorrow, isn't it?
It's out tomorrow, yes.
Have a publication celebration tomorrow, Lydia.
I'm sure I will.
Lovely to see you. Thank you so much.